Want more wins? Here's some tips. Brake late with our powerful titanium piston brake kits featuring our VRT Max rotor and all titanium hardware. Stay on track with the lightest, strongest, and safest rear torsion arm ever made in our exclusive AccuLength W-Link. Hold it all together with our huge selection of high-strength precision titanium fasteners boxed up custom for your car in part-labeled bags. Make the decision for precision. Smith Titanium. We winnovate.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
This year, we actually get to race.
These guys are sprint car drivers, stock car drivers, drifters. Here, they're going to drive something that requires a different sense of discipline.
It's a group of 12 guys who are really good at driving race cars.
Team NOS Zero Sugar.
Team NOS Original.
Team Sonic Sour.
Team GT Grape.
We're not sure how these cars are going to drive.
Let's go racing.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or current Chevy owners can get $8,350 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
More Iowans drive Chevy.
It's ARP Fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
DIRTVision presents World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the pinnacle of dirt track racing. Featuring sprint car racing's best drivers, biggest races.
David Travel is the King's Royal Champion. Slide up in front of Cowboy, and at the line, Cowboy gets the win.
And best coverage.
Welcome back to the greatest show on dirt.
You wanted the best. You got them for a breast.
DIRTVision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
Sunny skies and dry conditions on a Saturday night in Knoxville, Iowa. What more could you want? What's now a one-day Premier Chevy Dealers Clash featuring the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series promises to be just as exciting for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series at the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville Raceway. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back into DIRTVision. About 24 hours ago, we were ready to kick off this weekend here at Knoxville, Iowa, when some mist that lasted a long time and the temperatures really dropped, and that unfortunately caused us to have to cancel last night's program right before we got it started. So weather conditions today much more ideal for racing, and what was misty skies and cloudy skies has turned into a 57 degrees and some sunshine and blue skies that we've seen here in Knoxville, Iowa for the first time really in a couple of days. The track surface looks great as well. The Knoxville Raceway crew has been on it all day, getting it ready for the 65 car field that we have signed into the pit area tonight. Great night of racing on tap with a lot of storylines, not only another race for the Outlaws, but the season opener for Knoxville Raceway in their 2025 campaign as well. As for what's happened recently with the Outlaws, we did show you in the brief couple minutes we were on air yesterday highlights of last week at I-55. Great weekend racing. Carson Macedo goes to victory lane on Friday night, and then Logan Schuchart getting his first win of the year on Saturday. And Schuchart's going to carry momentum into Knoxville this weekend. Now, Schuchart obviously went through his struggles in 2024, but came into 2025 with a new crew chief and a new mindset. And the work that team put in over the offseason has paid off. Since the beginning of the season at Dirt Car Nationals, we saw them knock away podium finishes. Well, now they finally have their first win of the year, and after several podiums, that first win of the season for Logan Schuchart is kind of like a weight lifted off of his shoulders.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little relieving. These are tough to win. It's you have a year like last year, and you know how it's always hard to win outlaw races, and sometimes they seem like they're coming easier than others, and then like I said, you have years like last year where it's you feel like you're doing the right things, it's just you can't get the speed, or you can't get yourself up there to get in position. So we've been putting ourselves in position this year. We're qualifying up front, which I think is a huge key factor, and able to capitalize on the starting spots and really feel good being able to race with the best of the best cars out here right now and keep ourselves up front. So I think we're going better at some tracks that we didn't particularly go good in the past, and I think that's good sign. Obviously, it's you want to be improving, and I feel like we're consistently running up front. So if we keep putting ourselves in position, I don't see why we can't grab some more wins.
Logan Schuchart been a lot of fun to watch here early in 2025. We talked about the struggles in 2024. Let's look first at his first 15 races of the 2024 season. Of course, didn't go to victory lane in that time. And while he was consistently a top 10 car, he just had a hard time cracking the top 5. Didn't even have a podium last season until July, and really had a hard time qualifying. You flip the script over to the first 15 races of this season, he's cracked victory lane. He's doubled his top 5 total in that time span. And how about the average qualify at 5.1 and average finish within the top 5? So a much better start to the 2025 season for Logan Schuchart. And if you even compare the first 15 races of this season to the first 15 races of his career best season in 2020, the numbers are pretty similar there as well. So if Schuchart continues on the trend he's on, he very well could put up a career year with the greatest show on dirt. Now, with Carson Macedo and Logan Schuchart both on the podium both nights last weekend at I-55, they do shrink David Gravel's gap at the top of the point standings by just a little bit. Taking a look at those points coming in to the Saturday night show here at Knoxville, Gravel with his 5 wins on the year, good enough for a 64-point edge, which is a little bit lower than it was going into last week over Carson Macedo. Logan Schuchart is then 10 points back to Macedo for the 3rd spot in points. Buddy Kofoid and Sheldon Hanshill round out the top 5 in the standings. Donnie Schatz is 6th, coming off his first podium of the season. But I want to continue to talk about the top 3 in points. Obviously, they have been the fastest cars on a nightly basis with the Outlaws here in 2025, but all 3 of them also impressively have been really good here at the sprint car capital of the world. Taking a look at their individual numbers, David Gravel has reigned here more than any of the 3 and has been to victory lane 12 times. Macedo with 4 wins, Schuchart 3 trips to victory lane here at Knoxville. But the impressive number to me, the average finish. All 3 of them right around an 8th place average finish, and very much so will be contenders here tonight at Knoxville. So Logan Schuchart trying to potentially put together a string of consecutive victories. David Gravel and Carson Macedo know that we very well could see a 3-horse race here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of race cars. Anything could happen. Donnie Schatz was in the non-qualifiers last year and raced his way in through the heat race, but you never know what can happen here at Knoxville. It's a tough place to get around, and all 3 of us probably have pretty high confidence, but nothing's guaranteed in this sport.
I think that you get 60-some cars, and then you got less room for error on a bad night. It's going to be a really bad night. So you just got to have your ducks in a row, and we just try to worry about the process and how we can enjoy the journey, and hopefully that puts us in a place where we need to be at the end of the night.
We love coming to Knoxville. It's one of my favorite places to come to, and any laps is good laps here. And we'll look forward to coming here in June and coming to the Capitani and getting ready for the Nationals.
I'm excited. I was here at the test, just kind of walking around and checking things out, and I feel like there's no reason we can't go down, lay down some good laps, and put together some good results.
The track's probably going to be nothing like this for the Nationals, but any laps and confidence is good here. The biggest thing is learning how to run the berm, and not hitting the berm too hard and be able to stick the bottom is kind of the hardest thing as a driver to get used to.
Looking forward to seeing what the 2, the 41, and the 1S have in store for us here this evening at Knoxville. Of course, they're going to be tough, but they've got a huge field of cars that they have to deal with, 65 total signed in. So we showed you those point standings, and it's not only interesting at the top, it's interesting in the battle for the Kevin Dobrik Rookie of the Year award, which is already a battle here in the early stages of 2025. We've told you about how our 7 rookies with the greatest show on dirt this season, the largest rookie class in series history, and it's been 2 drivers jockeying for that top rookie spot here early on in the season. Those 2 being Chris Windom and Garrett Williamson. Going into last Friday night at Pevely, Windom had the lead. Williamson, though, with his hard-charging run, took it from Windom, and then Windom takes it back with a nice solid finish on Saturday night and now holds a 2-point advantage for the top rookie spot over Garrett Williamson. Hunter Schoenberg, Cole Macedo, Zach Hampton, Styler G, and Con Morrell sit not too far behind. But as for Windom and Williamson, if you would have asked a lot of people at the beginning of the season who the main 2 contenders for that Rookie of the Year award would be, not a lot of people probably would have said Chris Windom and Garrett Williamson. So the question is, how even are these 2 really? Are they as even as they have seemed to be in their battles the last couple of weeks? And does one of them potentially have an edge here at Knoxville?
It feels good leading it. I know we've got some to gain on and get a little better, but to this point in time, I'm pretty happy with how we've kicked off the first month or 2 of the season. So, to answer your question, I know Garrett will be good the rest of the season, and it'll be a battle.
Not many people counted either one of us to be leading the rookie deals right now, but I think it's a testament to both of our teams that they're both well prepared, and I think we're really stacking up good against each other, and it's been fun so far. But obviously I want to be on the other end of it. I want to be leading, and I feel good coming home. Last weekend I felt really good. I was hoping to get out of there with a lead, and the unfortunate deal in our heat race kind of set us back and just didn't get passing cars in the A main before the rubber, which set us back.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's tough this year. He's been with that team for I think a couple of years now. They've got to gel together and learn each other a little bit. So he's been good, and I knew he would be.
Back at the big half mile back home, so I feel good coming here and hopefully leave here with the lead.
This is a place that I've kind of struggled at the first couple of years of wing racing, just not having very many laps. I feel like he's had a good car here before, and he's had a lot of experience and time here as a driver and car owner. So excited to get going and see what we can do.
I'd say I probably have more laps than most of the rookie guys here, and just feel comfortable being home. I like being here, like the atmosphere, and feel like we'll have a good package. So yeah, just been looking forward to this. Look forward to June race and Nationals.
Now, Garrett Williamson's best career finish, his only career podium finish with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, came right here at Knoxville in June of 2023. He and Chris Windom and all the rookies have been a lot of fun to watch this season. They've each, almost all of them, but I believe all of them actually have cracked the top 10 on the season. None of them, though, have cracked the top 5. We'll see if any of them can do that here tonight at Knoxville, but looking forward to seeing them continue to battle it out for that Kevin Dobrik Rookie of the Year award here in 2025. So it is, of course, the season opener for the Knoxville Raceway in their 2025 campaign. It's the first time since 2012 that the Outlaws will serve as the series during the season opener for Knoxville. Looking forward to a great season of racing just about every Saturday night in all the divisions that they run here, which of course will all be live on DIRTVision. The last 2 seasons, it's been Austin McCarl using his consistency to back-to-back track championships in the 410 division here at Knoxville to become a 3-time overall track champion in that division. McCarl, always competitive with the Outlaws as well, had a dominating heat race win last Friday night at Pevely. Look for McCarl to potentially know something about this racetrack tonight that maybe the other drivers in the field don't know, because McCarl knows what this half mile is like early on in a season.
Yeah, there's a little bit more pressure. You want to come out and do really well, right? This is a place you expect to do well, and I feel like I've got a really good package to unload with, and just starts with the draw. Hopefully you get up front of whatever group you fall into and try and go out early. Typically is better. And I mean, usually, like if you go back and watch opening nights, I mean, it's usually the one night it might even lay rubber. It's usually really slick, but to be honest, the last few years we haven't really raced in April. A lot of this stuff gets canceled, and I just feel like a lot of times testing or practicing, you don't really learn as much as you think you might. I mean, you can't really simulate a start or some guy sliding across you in lap traffic or on the start of a heat race and getting tight. And so, I don't know. Normally opening nights are typically one of the slickest nights of the year, but I don't think that's going to be the case tonight. Hopefully I'm wrong. I am wrong a lot, but we'll see. Like I said, we'll just see what we get, and hopefully the Country Builders 88's up front at the end of the night.
Now, of the 40 cars that showed up for practice on Thursday night here at Knoxville, Austin McCarl was not one of them. Said that he liked the package he had to start the season here at the sprint car capital of the world and just felt pretty confident that he would be able to hit the ground running. You never know which Knoxville Rangers could insert their names into the mix whenever the greatest show on dirt rolls in to the sprint car capital of the world. Of course, we're looking forward to being here for 3 weekends this season. Of course, this weekend here in April, but then 2 nights in June, and of course the Knoxville Nationals in August. And the sprint car capital of the world skyline this year looks a little bit different thanks to the brand new Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower that sits just behind me in turn 2. They started construction on that new suite tower late last year, and it was ready for the beginning of 2025. And on Thursday, they held a ribbon cutting ceremony for that beautiful new suite tower. And Knoxville Raceway's Tony Bachhoven was nice enough to give us a walk around of the brand new suite tower that sits off at turn 2.
Today's a big day in sprint car racing. It's a big day in Knoxville, Iowa, and it's a bigger day for the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum as we cut the ribbon on the Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower, which sits right outside of turn number 2. What a great thing to continue to add on to the legacy of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame by providing another tower full of suites to bring corporate sponsors, fans, and families to the sprint car capital of the world. So Dennis Albaugh is a very important person to not only sprint car racing, but to the state of Iowa. He owns some of the most competitive horses that you'll see running even at the Kentucky Derby. And of course, what he does for sprint car racing with Carson Macedo and the Jason Johnson racing team, and of course Chase Randall's team now as he embarks on a full-time on-the-road tour. Without people like Dennis Albaugh, those two teams would definitely not be able to do the things they're able to do now. With the addition of the Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower, many things had to change outside of turn number 2. One of those being the Eddie Levitt Memorial, recognizing the Knoxville Nationals winner. Of course, Eddie Levitt was the winner of the Knoxville Nationals in 1975. And as you come along here and take a look, all of the winners throughout the years, Jan Opperman, Joe Saldana, all of the Donnie Schatz and Steve Kinzer plaques, and even the 2024 champion, Kyle Larson. There are lots of cool things to see here at the Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower, and one of those is floor number 2. This is a large gathering space where people can come and socialize with their friends and their family, and they can also see right out over turn number 2. Now, I would guess this is almost as close as you can get to the racetrack during live racing action as anywhere here at the Knoxville Raceway. And then, of course, the suites here at the Dennis Albaugh Tower. That's what everybody wants to see. Inside of these luxury suites, you have big TVs, place for refreshments, and then most importantly, you can come outside and stand high atop turn number 2 here at the sprint car capital of the world. Probably the best view in all of sprint car racing right here. So think about it like this. You've got the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, you've got the Brian Clausen Suite Tower, and now to bookend the whole complex, the Dennis Albaugh Suite Towers here at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum.
Great stuff from Tony Bachhoven, and appreciate him giving us a look at that suite tower. And we commend everybody with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. The suite towers there, the new ones that sit off at turn 2 right next to the Hall of Fame, and of course the Brian Clausen Suite Tower look absolutely beautiful. Makes for a great skyline here at the sprint car capital of the world. Our DIRTVision team got to spend some time with Dennis Albaugh last night and the day before, just after the ribbon cutting, and he is extremely grateful to forever have a piece of the pie here at Knoxville Raceway. So if you're in the area, if you are planning a trip to the Nationals this season, be sure to check out that new Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower. Mother Nature may have not cooperated on night number 1, but that's all right. We get to pack all the fun into one night here at the sprint car capital of the world. When we come back after track prep is complete, Blake Walker, Tony Bachhoven, and the Hall of Famer John Gibson will get the action underway from the booth after this break.
One thing's for sure, there's a sure thing on the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Tour.
Hunter Schurenberg, Sikeston, Missouri.
Expect this rookie to always give 100% effort. He says racing with the Outlaws is the fulfillment of a dream 25 years in the making. Besides having a long last name that's hard to spell, Hunter likes to tinker in the garage.
I'm a huge classic car guy. Anything that's got a Chevy bow tie on it, I'm a big fan of.
Look for SCHUERENBERG to lead his team to VICTORY when you watch the World of Outlaws every week on DIRTVision.
Okay, now that's going places.
I want to go places too.
I want you to have more opportunities than I had.
So I would live in Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, and you'll live with other students from all over the country. I'll see you soon. You're gonna be great.
Find your future at Milton Hershey School.
Honest Abe Roofing is America's favorite roofing company.
They took the time to discuss all of our needs.
I couldn't be happier with my new roof.
The best part? They came in under budget. Honest Abe Roofing helped us with their easy payment solutions, and now we can make low payments on the roof that we actually wanted.
I guarantee you'll get the best price for your roof. That's what my ironclad lowest investment guarantee is all about.
If this is your idea of ladylike, you're gonna fit right in. Join us at Toyota Racing.
I think it's a very big deal that we have Amcus, providing us with the Amcus cutting tools throughout our series and World Racing Group. It's good that we were able to get a product in that's reliable and it does the job. If for some reason we had to cut a car apart or get access to a driver or a patient, we know that this tool here is definitely the one that we're going to work the best, get us in there quickly.
America rules, and so does real American beer. Get some, brother.
Knoxville's a very unique racetrack. You know, when the track gets slick and wide, running the top it can be very treacherous. Running the bottom is super technical. So, been lucky to have a lot of laps there and some success there as well. So, running the bottom is, use a lot of brake, try to keep the car as straight as possible, keep the tires underneath you, and then running the top is pretty much hair on fire, going as hard as you can go. Yeah, Knoxville, like I said, is very, very unique. I think the line, no matter what, from week to week is always different. Sometimes that middle groove can come in, and sometimes it's pound the top or pound the bottom. So typically early in the night, the bottom's really greasy, and it starts to run in towards the end of heat races, towards the beginning of the feature, and you got a nice two-lane racetrack for the feature.
Push trucks continue to work in the racing surface here at the Knoxville Raceway, the sprint car capital of the world, as we prepare for the Premier Chevy Dealers Clash, featuring the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. My name's John Gibson, Blake Walker, Tony Bachhoven alongside me here in the booth, and guys, 65 cars signed in for battle here this evening. It is going to be an action-packed night.
Yeah, we had a strong night on practice night on Thursday, well over 40 cars, which I think we were all a little bit surprised about that. Then, of course, the activities of the rain and the mist yesterday thought maybe would dampen our spirits, but another strong car count, 65 cars tonight, and there's no slouch in any of these cars here tonight.
Guys, we've got, again, 65 cars ready to come out for their hot lap sessions of qualifying. It'll work like this. We'll have 4 practice sessions for the drivers in Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Then we'll run that qualifying session. We'll then run 4 practice sessions for the drivers in Flight B and qualify at Flight B. Then we'll go into our non-qualifiers races from there. The top 20 in each flight of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying move directly into heat races, and then the top 2 finishers in each of the 2 non-qualifiers races go to heat races as well. Everybody else, depending on their finishing position in the non-qualifiers race, go to the C or the D main. They will not compete in heat races here tonight. So 2 non-qualifiers races, 4 heat races, a D main, a C main, Toyota Dash, Microlight Last Chance Showdown, and a 25-lap feature, an action-packed racing program here this evening.
Absolutely, and as we look down, Blake, through these cars, a nice mix of some of the cars that we would consider to be our local competitors here this week, or this year, namely some of those that people may not be expecting, like J.J. Hickle in the Matt Morrow car.
And it's cool because this is new. There's a lot of unknowns here tonight because usually we haven't raced here in April. It's been 12 years since the World of Outlaws has been back here. None of the local guys have a step up like they do when they show up in June. So a lot of unknowns tonight. They had a good thing on Austin McCarl, but keep an eye on those guys.
Connor Wade down in the pit area, and he's got an interview waiting for us. Connor?
This weight was last August during the Knoxville Nationals. This night, Gio Scelzi won a prelim that week and then ran second in the bid show on Saturday night. I know you're from California, but you moved to Iowa a couple years ago to pursue your dream of being a 410 sprint car driver. Does Knoxville Raceway feel like home now?
Yeah, it definitely does. Our shop being up in Des Moines, a super cool place. I love coming here. This is my favorite track on the whole schedule. So had a great Nationals last year. Couldn't really be much better other than winning Saturday, but cool place. The weather's cooperated today, and we should have a good race.
What's it going to take for somebody to beat the 57 at this place this year?
Oh, man, it's tough. We were really good last year in August, but a lot of stuff's changed since then. So got the same car as last year and hopefully kind of find the same speed.
What should we expect out of the racetrack? Obviously really wet yesterday. It's been warm and sunny here today. So what kind of surface do you think that gets us?
Yeah, it's always pretty, the same. I feel like it's similar here almost every time we come. So expect 2 lanes, a nice bottom, probably a decent middle and a good cushion.
Gio Scelzi will be in Flight B of qualifying later on this evening. Brought back the black and gold, trying to bring back some of the magic he had here last August, guys.
Thank you so much, Connor. And again, though, the driver is from California. That is a Central Iowa-based race team.
Yeah, and as he said, they live just up the road, just right around the Des Moines area. The team, the car owners, all up around the Des Moines area. So even though we don't get to see them here on a regular basis, they're just 40 minutes from the track.
And that is a former championship car here at the Knoxville Raceway as well.
That's right. Ian Madsen, had a lot of luck in that 18 car, and he and Matt Barbara starting out that team many years ago. And, of course, Ian did a little racing in the off-season in Australia this winter, but Gio, a lot of speed, as he mentioned here at the Nationals last year.
Down in the pit area, just about set to sound the air horns to start the 8-minute clock for the drivers in practice session number 1 to bring their cars to the staging lane. The push trucks continue to work the water down into the racing surface on a chilly but sunny Saturday afternoon here at the sprint car capital of the world.
Johnny, it's been nice. Today was probably the least windy day that we've had here all week.
It's been a theme continuing for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series throughout the entire 2025 schedule, it seems. Everywhere we've been, we've had high winds, and of course we had a race winded out earlier this year down at the 81 Speedway. We'll be making that race up in October, but again, nice to see some fairly calm conditions. Still a little bit of a breeze out there, but nothing like the 15, 20, 25 mile an hour winds that we've seen many times this year. Blake, you mentioned it's been 12 years since the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series has been here in April. Not for lack of effort, we can certainly say. We've been scheduled here multiple times, but just Mother Nature has not cooperated.
Yeah, it has. And, we've seen it all the last couple of years especially. We saw rain out last year and then saw snow out 2 years ago. That's just kind of how it's worked. Iowa weather, it's so unpredictable. As anyone knows coming here to the racetrack, it's just nice that we got one of those good days, if you will. It could be a little bit warmer. We'll take a little bit more warmth, but a good day here on this Saturday.
I can remember being here in Knoxville in the spring for a 2-day World of Outlaws program that we got the Friday race in and we woke up Saturday and there was snow on the ground here at the Knoxville Raceway, but it allowed a lot of us to watch Steve Kinzer go to victory in the IROC race at Talladega that day. A look from high above the Knoxville Raceway, courtesy of our DIRTVision drone. You can see just how tightly packed that infield pit area is with race haulers. Again, 65 drivers set for competition in the Premier Chevy Dealers Clash. So we're going from one extreme to the other for the World of Outlaws as far as the schedule is concerned. Last week, 2 nights on the High Bank Bull Ring at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. We come to the half mile here tonight at Knoxville Raceway, and then 2 more bull rings on the schedule next weekend. Next Friday night, the World of Outlaws return to the Jacksonville Speedway in Jacksonville, Illinois for the running of the Hy-Vee Perks 40. And then next Saturday night, another quarter-miler on tap with the form of the Tri-State Speedway in Hobstadt, Indiana. So again, 2 more quarter miles on the schedule next weekend, and then back to a half mile the following weekend with 2 nights at the Eldora Speedway. And once again, down in the infield to Connor Wade.
Guys, I don't know what it's been about 2025, but we're seeing more silly season in the middle of the year this year than I think we ever have, at least in a long time. Announced this week, Darren Pitman is taking over the Lunsford Motorsports number 3 for some races this season. Tim Keating's still going to be in it a little bit, but you're going to be in it for the Knoxville Nationals, a race you set on the front row of last year in the Crite 69K. What are your expectations joining this team?
They're high, but no, let's clarify the silly season. I don't know that anything's really happened. Me running this car has no effect on Tim. This is just an additional car when I'd called and asked Don told me at the World Finals last year that they didn't have any intentions of coming back to the Nationals this year. So I still really enjoy coming. We come for the business with Ultra Shield, and so I'm not prepared to come here and just be a spectator yet. So I felt like I really wanted to compete, and when he told me they weren't coming back, I've known Dave and Jamie for a long time, and they're good friends of ours. And so really it's about going and racing with the people that I want to race with and enjoy, and he builds, has really nice equipment. So our expectations are high, but obviously we know that, I've never drove this car, and it's kind of starting from scratch to, see where we're at. But obviously I enjoy running the 69K, and my schedule with them hasn't changed. They just weren't planning on coming back this year, so that opened up the opportunity for me to look for something else. And luckily Dave and Jamie gave me the opportunity to come out here and try to compete and try to see what we can do.
David Revel told us in our pre-race show that usually the track conditions we get in April or June are much different than August. So with that being the case, is there still some things you can learn for the Nationals early on in the year?
No, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to have a fast car in Knoxville. So making adjustments as the track changes throughout the year, that if we come here and we're half a second off the pace, we know we've got some work to do. And so it's all about just having a good balance, having good speed, making sure that everything feels good and comfortable. So it made more sense for us to come and run this weekend just because Tim wasn't able to come and we're able to run one car. If we come back in June, it would be with 2 cars, and obviously in August it will be with 2 cars. So all that just gets more complicated, and so this was just a little bit easier for everybody.
He might be semi-retired, but he's still pretty good when he gets in a sprint car. Darren Pitman, the 2013 World of Outlaws champion, testing out a new ride here tonight. He'll be in this number 3L.
Looking forward to see what the former World of Outlaws champion can do in the Lundstrom Motorsports entry as the cars make their way to the staging lane for the first practice session for Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. We certainly don't expect to see lap times anywhere near track record time when these drivers first come out there, because Tony Bach of the track is still pretty slippery out there as they stage for practice session number 1.
Yeah, we were just talking here a little bit ago. We weren't sure when we would be ready to start hot lapping, but the pace trucks were out there, the pack trucks were out, worked it down. Still some moisture, I would say 3/4 of the way down the racetrack. So oftentimes, Johnny, like we'll see, the cars will come out, do a little wheel packing. The first session will bring them up to speed, bring them back down to caution, let them wheel pack a little more, and bring them back up to speed once more.
Indeed, that is certainly what we will expect as the cars prepare to roll onto the speedway for our opening practice session. Again, 4 practice sessions for each flight of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. So we'll have 4 practice sessions, qualify the drivers in Flight A, and then have 4 more practice sessions for the drivers in Flight B. Good look at Ryan Timms there in car number 10. He's on the inside of the front row, preparing for practice here this evening. Meeting of the minds going on down in the pit area. Jason Sides with the leading Kevin Gobrecht Award contender in the cockpit of his number 7S in the form of Chris Wyndham, and Donnie Schatz there having a conversation with the former World of Outlaws regular. We can see the number 14 is Spencer Basta, and a good look at the former World of Outlaws regular in the cockpit of the Jason Myers number 14. We mentioned that Chris Wyndham is the current leader in the battle for the Kevin Gobrecht Award for Rookie of the Year honors with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. That is just by 2 points over Garrett Williamson, and those two have flip-flopped that top spot in Rookie of the Year contention over the course of the last 3 nights of racing. The entire McCarl clan here this evening, racing with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Terry McCarl and sons Austin and Carson down there in the pit area, and Terry McCarl making what is a fairly rare start with the World of Outlaws this evening here at the Knoxville Raceway. But of course, anytime the number 24 rolls on to the Knoxville Raceway, certainly a threat, one of the winningest drivers in track history, and a multiple-time champion here as well. New pilot of the Moro Motorsports number 2M. We got a quick glimpse at J.J. Hickle there. And so we get word of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series Racing Electronics Radio System. We are set to fire the engines for practice session number 1. First driver underway for practice here this evening out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, in the Quarry and CP Mining and Excavating, Joel Pingen Trucking, Raw Machinery, Hampo Oil, number 10, it's Ryan Timms.
From Lemoore, California, the 2C Racing Outlaw Wings Durst Wedge High Performance Carts, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, car number 2C, Cole Macedo.
And rolling into corner number 1 from Nixa, Missouri. In car number 31, the McGarry Machine and Welding MRP Chassis Victory Fuel Speed Media I&M Machine entry. That is Kyle Bellum.
Rolling down the back straightaway from Lebanon, Indiana, the Sander 4C Construction Autry Plumbing, Tally Oil, SynCal Performance, car number 14 is Spencer Baston.
And from St. Helena, California, in the Rico Abreu Curb Agajanian Racing, Waste Connection, Swan Island Sheet Metal, Jackson Superhero Foundation, number 24A, Rico Abreu.
From Quilcene, Washington, the Albaugh Your Alternative Academy Roofing, Phillips Floors, Carl Chevrolet, Kem Morse, car number 2M, that's J.J. Hickle.
And from Franklin, Indiana, driving car number 27, the WCI Petrie Excavating KPM entry, Emerson Axum.
And from East Grand Forks, North Dakota, driving the Proceed Ekman Dental Arts, JW Repair, Phil Thompson and Associates, Ag Serve, car number G5, that's Gage Polkrebeck.
First practice session of the evening for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Definitely a little slick out there on the speedway. Lap times only in the upper 19, low 22nd bracket early on in practice session number 1. Cole Macedo is the quickest so far at a 19.745. Now Macedo goes faster at an 18.837. J.J. Hickle into the 19s at a 19.451.
Spencer Baston now up into the second spot with a 19.260. Emerson Axum moves up to second, 19.255. Rico Abreu in the fourth spot. J.J. Hickle rounding out the top 5.
So Hickle now takes the top spot, 18.284. Spencer Baston, 18.634. Now Abreu now to the second spot at an 18.386. And believe the caution flag will wave this time as the drivers cross the start-finish line. Again, we'll do some slow wheel packing.
Kyle Bellum gets a good one in there, Johnny, right there as they came to the caution flag. Third quickest so far, 18.431. So J.J. Hickle so far quickest, 18.284. Rico Abreu, 18.386. Kyle Bellum, 18.431. Emerson Axum, 18.548. Spencer Baston in the fifth spot, 18.634. Then Gage Polkrebeck, Cole Macedo round out the 7 cars here in this first hot lap session.
So again, we'll do a little bit of slow wheel packing and then wave the green flag once again. And quite often, after just a few laps of slow wheel packing, we see a fairly significant decrease in lap time, sometimes as much as a second or more. So we'll see if that is the case here this evening as they roll around the half-mile oval here at the Marion County Fairgrounds. Actually, for our scoring and timing purposes with the World of Outlaws, slightly larger than a half mile. We measure the Knoxville Raceway at 0.515 miles, and that measurement is made right in the middle of the racetrack between the inside berm and the outside retaining wall. A look at the man who was quickest so far in practice session number 1 for Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, J.J. Hickle, taking over the Matt Morrow number 2M for the 2025 season. J.J. Hickle has 37 career feature starts here at the Knoxville Raceway. Best finished 7th with the All-Star Circuit of Champions in 2022. Cole Macedo, another driver in contention for the Kevin Gobrecht Award for Rookie of the Year honors with the World of Outlaws this season. Career best finish at Knoxville came last year with a 5th place run. Set to wave the green flag once again on the opening practice session for the drivers in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying Flight A. We go back under green flag conditions, and yeah, lap times big time improving there. JJ Hickle into the upper 16s at a 16.765, so a nearly 2-second improvement in lap times after some slow wheel packing.
Rico Abreu now 16.636, Ryan Tim 16.477.
Emerson Axum now topping the speed chart. JJ Hickle takes it back from him with a 16.343.
Spencer Basin, 16.220. We're almost into the 15s.
Baston, Abreu, and Ryan Tim's your 3 fastest so far.
There it is, 15.917 for Cole Macedo.
So from the 18s to the 15s after just a couple of slow laps of wheel packing. And now Rico Abreu tops Macedo at a 15.903. JJ Hickle nearly into the 15s, a 16.008, and Spencer Baston now to the 15.8s. Abreu to a 15.659.
Caution flag waving here on hot lap session number 1. Rico Abreu, 15.659, the fastest car in group number 1. Spencer Baston, 15.888, he's second quick. Cole Macedo, 15.915. JJ Hickle, 16.008. And Ryan Tim's 5th fast, 16.037.
Cars rolling onto the speedway for practice session number 2 from Visalia, California. The Iowa Barnstormers, Landis Des Moines Industrial Products, Jersey Freeze, Spankins Motorsports, number 2KS of Corey Eliason.
From Higginsville, Missouri, the Casey's, FEP, Andy's Frozen Custard, Impact Signs, JD Welding, Houseby, car number 21, Blackjack, Brian Brown.
And from McLarenville, South Australia, and the Giddings Motorsports, Mel Hamilton Racing, Dirty Air Suspension, number 78, Scott Boguski.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, the NOS Energy Drink, Elliot's Custom Trailers and Cars, Spire Motorsports, Brant, Gainbridge, car number 7, BC, Sunshine, Tyler Courtney.
And from Worcester, Ohio, behind the wheel of the NOS Energy Drink, West Tennessee Expediting Frozen Farmer Maximum Oil, number 17, Sheldon Hot and Shield.
And from Elk Grove, California, the Finley Farms, Fulkins Brothers Trucking, Flow Racing, JVI Group, Roto Rooter, car number 57, Young Money, Kyle Larson.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, the C&D Rigging with Sea Valley Transportation, Tully's Heating and Cooling, Steve Beitler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jacks, number 6, Zach Hampton.
And from Pleasantville, Iowa, the Ruan, weareruan.com, Mid-States Precast Products, Acre Edge, Raceway Tire, car number 3P, Sawyer Phillips.
Underway with the second practice session for the drivers in Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Understand this will be a quick green-white checkered practice session, seeing if anybody can top Rico Abreu's 15.659. Brian Brown gets close at a 15.905. Scott Boguski, 15.787. Tyler Courtney, 15.885.
Sheldon Hot and Shield, 15.914. Kyle Larson to the top, 15.365.
Brian Brown now second at a 15.630. Corey Eliason takes it from him with a 15.509. Checkered flag waving on practice session number 2.
Kyle Larson quickest in hot lap session number 2, 15.365. Corey Eliason, 15.509. Brian Brown, 15.630. Rico Abreu and Scott Boguski round out your top 5.
2 practice sessions complete for Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. 2 more remaining. First driver to roll out for practice session number 3 from Altoona, Iowa, the Country Builders Construction, DeBerg Concrete, Justice Brothers, Skadden Construction, Pro Diesel, number 24, Terry McCarl.
And from Gravois Mills, Missouri, driving the Smart Growth Industries, High Performance Lubricants, Ozark Barge and Dock Wet Steps, car number 3 of Ayrton Jeniton.
From Locust Grove, Oklahoma, in the Pella Avanti Windows and Doors Big Sprint Car Wash Water Treatment by Design, number 13, Dason Pursley.
And from Marshall, Missouri, the Northern Tier Outdoor Community Auto Sales Engine Connection, car number 7BX, that's Ben Brown.
From Waco, Texas, in the Albaugh, your alternative, Infamous Inc., Berco Redwoods, Bush's Chicken, number 9R, Chase Randall.
Jimmy Light rolling toward turn number 3 in car number 23L from Lisden, Indiana. He drives the Horsepower Incorporated Pennock Insurance DWD Company 23L.
And car number 27B, that is Jake Buback out of Arvada, Colorado. It's the 360 Civil KNC Drywall Mark Burke Motorsports entry.
And from Jacksonville, Oregon, the Tarleton & Son Executive Auto Sales, American Rock and Rent, Bandy & Associates, Durst Family, car number 21T, Tanner Holmes.
Practice session number 3, going green at Knoxville. Chase Randall, quickest so far in this group, 6th fastest overall. And just as I say that, Dason Pursley moves to 5th quick at a 15.675.
Randall now to the 3rd spot, 15.509, excuse me, 15.542.
Dason Pursley taking the 2nd spot now to 15.457. Ayrton Jennington and Corey Eliason behind him. Kyle Larson still atop the speed chart as the checkered flag waves on the 3rd practice session. Dason Pursley, the fastest driver in that group, 2nd quickest overall, 15.457 seconds. Kyle Larson still quickest at that 15.365. Ayrton Jennington 3rd, Corey Eliason 4th, and Chase Randall rounding out the top 5 as the final practice session for Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying rolls onto the speedway, led out by car number 19, the Highbreeder Motorsports, the branch event venue JR119. Driver out of Coleman, Alabama is Kevin Thomas Jr.
From Hartford, South Dakota, the GNR Controls, Midwestern Mechanical, Haugen Goodman, car number 8H, that's Jacob Hughes.
The 10-time World of Outlaws champion from Fargo, North Dakota, in the Car Quest Curb Martin One Source, number 15, Donnie Schatz.
From Leduc, Alberta, Canada, the Warrior Building Development, Building Packages Direct, Nelson Brothers Construction, Pack Rat Dumpsters, car number 99 is Skylar G.
And rolling down the front stretch now from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Elite Insulation, Zip-Ons 55V, the Madman, Kerry Madsen.
From Kokomo, Indiana, the Indy Race Parts, Charlie Garrett Racing Engines, Chalk Sticks, car number 71 of Parker Price Miller.
And from Hartford, South Dakota, the GNR Controls, Midwestern Mechanical, Haugen Goodman, number 8H, Jacob Hughes.
And from Lemoore, California, the Albaugh, your alternative, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Tarleton & Son, Sage Family, Scott Boyd Family, Complete Parts and Equipment, car number 41, Carson Macedo.
4th practice session, final session for the drivers in Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Green flag has been displayed. Lap times will be appearing on the monitor here in the booth momentarily. Jacob Peterson has gone to 15.8. Donnie Schatz, 7th quickest overall to 15.564. Parker Price Miller now 2nd at a 15.415.
Carson Macedo 3rd, 15.451. Kyle Larson still quickest, 15.365.
Kerry Madsen now into the third spot, and Parker Price Miller tops Kyle Larson PPM with a 15.257.
So the caution flag waving on this final hot lap session. Johnny Parker Price Miller squeaking out a good one there, 15.257.
That'll make him the fastest driver in practice for Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Kyle Larson second with that 15.365. Kerry Madsen third at a 15.424. Carson Macedo and Dason Pursley round out the top five, followed by Ayrton Jennington sixth. Donnie Schatz seventh, Corey Eliason eighth, Chase Randall ninth, and Jimmy Light rounding out the top 10 as we get set for that first flight of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. We'll see 2 cars at a time on the speedway, 2 consecutive laps on the clock. Faster of those 2 laps scored as that driver's official qualifying time for this evening's race program. Remember, the top 20 in each flight of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying advance directly to heat races. Everybody else to one of 2 non-qualifiers races here this evening. We'll use the Honest Abe Roofing qualifying times to line up our heat races this evening, as well as for the front row of tonight's Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Track record here at the Knoxville Raceway held by Brian Brown. It was set on May 22nd of 2021 at a time of 14.351 seconds. And by measuring Knoxville Raceway at 0.515 miles, that makes an average speed of 129.190 miles per hour. Order for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying determined by random draw as the drivers signed in for the race program here earlier this afternoon. Set to bring the first pair of Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers onto the speedway. Under power first, Rookie of the Year contender out of Lemoore, California, driving the 2C Racing Outlaw Wings. Durst, Wedge High Performance Carts, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, number 2C Cole Macedo. And joining Macedo from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the Corey and CP Mining and Excavating, Joel Pingen Trucking, Raw Machinery, Hampel Oil, number 10 of Ryan Timms. Cole Macedo in 2C, Ryan Timms in car number 10. Macedo, a 7-time feature winner last season in sprint car competition. Ryan Timms here at the Knoxville Raceway, a 6th place run last year, the best of 12 appearances here in a 410. Cole Macedo's first lap time, 15.300, 15300. First time by for Ryan Timms at a 15.413, 15413. Macedo's second lap, 15.374, first lap better at 15.300. And for Ryan Timms, the second lap is a 15.558. His first lap better as well at 15.413.
From St. Helena, California, the Rico Abreu Kerback Ajanian Waste Connection Swan Island Sheet Metal Jackson Superhero Foundation, car number 24A, that's Rico Abreu. And also on the track now from Quilcene, Washington, in the Albaugh Your Alternative Academy Roofing, Phillips Floors, Carl Chevrolet, Kenmore. Car number 2M, that's J.J. Hickle. Rico Abreu, the 24A, J.J. Hickle, and the Matt Morrow, car number 2M. Rico with 2 top 5s, his best finishes of the season. First lap time for Rico, his quick time, 15.202, 15202. Lap number 1 for J.J. Hickle. His 4th quickest, 15.487, 15487. Second lap time for Rico Abreu, 15.275. His first lap better, 15.202. And lap number 2 for J.J. Hickle is a 15.562, 15562.
Next 2 moving out for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying from Lebanon, Indiana, in the Sander Engineering, 4Cs Construction, Autry Plumbing, Tally Oil, SenCal Performance, number 14 Spencer Baston, paired with him from East Grand Forks, Minnesota, and the Proceed Ekman Dental Arts, JW Repair, Phil Thompson Associates, AgServe, G5, Gage Polk-Quebec. Spencer Baston in 14, Gage Polk-Quebec in G5. Based in second place right here with the All-Stars in 2021, the best of 42 career starts at Volusia Speedway Park. Gage Polkerbeck with 2 feature starts here in 31 appearances, best finish 19th last year. Based in fourth quick on lap 1, 15.463, 15.463. Polkerbeck's first lap time was a 15.646, 15.646. Second time by for Spencer Baston, a 15.663, first lap better at 15.463. Gage Polkerbeck goes a 15.798, he'll stand on that first lap of 15.646.
Next 2 cars to qualify from Franklin, Indiana, the WCI Petrie Excavating KPM car number 27. That's Emerson Axum. Emerson Axum in car number 27. And also on the racetrack from Nixon, Missouri, the McGarry Machine and Welding MRP Chassis Victory Fuel Speed Media INM Machine car number 31 of Kyle Bellum. Kyle Bellum in the 31. Emerson Axum has been to victory lane here at the Knoxville Raceway last season. First lap time for him, he will clock in 15.497, 15.497. That's good enough for 6th quick. First lap time for Kyle, 16.018 for Kyle Bellum, 16018. Lap number 2 for Emerson Axum, 15.208. He improves to 2nd quick, 15208. Lap number 2 for Kyle Bellum is 8th quickest, 15.837, 15837.
Couple of very quick Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers pushing off now from Elk Grove, California. Driving the Finley Farms, Falcons Brothers Trucking Flow Racing, JVI Group Roto-Rooter number 57, Kyle Larson. And along with him, the Knoxville Raceway track record holder from Higginsville, Missouri, the Casey's FVP, Andy's Frozen Custard, Impact Science, JB Welding, Houseby, number 21 of Blackjack, Brian Brown. Kyle Larson in 57, Brian Brown in car number 21. Larson, 12 wins in 38 career starts here at the Knoxville Raceway. Brian Brown, of course, in that number 21, 66 wins, 2nd all-time. Lap 1 for Kyle Larson, 5th quick, 15.457, 15.457. Brian Brown's opening lap time, that is 5th quick at a 15.425, 15.425. Second time by for Kyle Larson, better 3rd quick at a 15.269, 15.269. And for Brian Brown, the second time by is a 15.526. First lap better at 15.425.
Next 2 cars rolling trackside. From Visalia, California, the Iowa Barnstormers, Landis, Des Moines Industrial Products, Jersey Free, Spankins Motorsports car number 2KS. That's Corey Eliason. Corey Eliason in the 2KS. As Brian Brown rolling by here one more time. So the car is still under the caution flag as they roll into turns 1 and 2. Also in this pair for qualifying from McLaren Vale, South Australia, in the Giddings Motorsports, Mel Hamilton Racing, Dirty Air Suspensions, car number 78. That would be Scott Boguski. Scott Boguski in the 78 as Brian Brown makes his way around 3 and 4 here. As long as he gets pulled in, we'll bring the cars up to speed, and looks like he's going to be coming in. There we go. Brian Brown makes his way in. Rico Abreu, still your quick qualifier, 15.202. Emerson Axum, Kyle Larson, Cole Macedo, and Ryan Timms, your top 5.
So they'll idle these drivers by until they get to the racetrack in turn 1, where everybody else has been accelerating to begin the run for their first lap. Make sure nobody has an advantage of having a longer run to build up momentum coming for the green flag. Tony, I thought it was interesting. Of all the drivers that have been out for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying so far, I believe Kyle Larson, the only driver that's gone faster on his 2nd lap.
All right, cars coming up to speed as they work their way into turn number 1, as Johnny described. They will get the green flag as they come by this time. So once again, from Visalia in the Iowa Barnstormers, Landis, Des Moines Industrial Products, Jersey Free, Spankins Motorsports, car number 2KS, that's Corey Eliason. And from McLaren Vale, South Australia, the Giddings Motorsports, Mel Hamilton Racing, Dirty Air Suspension, car number 78 is Scott Boguski. Lap number 1 for Corey Eliason is a 15.622. That's 9th quick, 15.622. First lap time for Scott Boguski, 11th quick, 15.723, 15.723. Lap number 2 for Corey Eliason is a 15.591, 15.591. And lap number 2 for Scott Boguski is a 15.543, 1.5543.
Next two onto the speedway from Indianapolis, Indiana, the NOS Energy Drink, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Spire Motorsports, Brandt, Gainbridge, number 7 BC, Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. And a World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contender joins him from Indianapolis, Indiana. Driving the C&D rigging, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Tully's Heating and Cooling, Steve Beitler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jacks, number 6, it's Zach Hampton. Tyler Courtney in 7 BC, Zach Hampton in the number 6. Courtney, a two-time USAC winner here, along with a victory in last year's 360 Nationals. Zach Hampton 6th on 2 occasions, his best in 35 starts at Knoxville. Tyler Courtney 4th quick on lap 1, 15.295, 1.5295. First lap time for Zach Hampton is 13th fastest, 15.664, 6.64, 1.5664. Second time by for Tyler Courtney, 15.579. First lap better at 15.295. And for Zach Hampton, the second lap is a 15.716. First lap better at 15.664. Tyler Courtney now into the top 5, 4th quickest.
Next to qualify from Worcester, Ohio, the NOS Energy Drink, West Tennessee Expediting, Frozen Farmer, Maxima Oil, car number 17 of Sheldon Hodenshield. And from Pleasantville, Iowa, the Ruan. We are Ruan.com, Mid-States Precast Products, Acre Edge, Raceway Tire. Car number 3, Pete Young Sawyer Phillips. Sawyer Phillips in the 3P, Sheldon Hodenshield in the 17. Sheldon currently 5th in the NOS Energy Drink World of Outlaws Sprint Car standings. Lap number 1. Sheldon Hodenshield will stop the clock with a 15.788, 1.5788. First lap time for Sawyer Phillips is 16th quickest, 15.899, 1.5899. Lap number 2 for Sheldon Hodenshield is 12th quickest, 15.642, 1.5642. And second lap time for Sawyer is still 16th fast, 15.840, 1.5840.
Rico Abreu still fastest in Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying with that 15.202. Emerson Axum 2nd, Kyle Larson 3rd, Tyler Courtney 4th, and Cole Macedo 5th as the next pair pushes on to the speedway. From Jacksonville, Oregon, driving the Tarleton & Son Executive Auto Sales American Rock and Rent, Bandy and Associates, Durst Family, number 21T, Tanner Holmes. And from Marshall, Missouri, the Northern Tier Outdoor Community Auto Sales Engine Connection, number 7B of Ben Brown. Tanner Holmes in 21T, Ben Brown in car number 7B. 13 career Knoxville appearances for Holmes, his best finish 8th here last year. And for Ben Brown, 14th last year, his best in 20 starts at the Knoxville Raceway. Lap 1 for Tanner Holmes, 15th quick, 15.800, 1.5800. Ben Brown's first time across the line is a 16.305, 1.6305. Second lap for Tanner Holmes, better 14th quick, 15.650, 1.5650. Ben Brown's second lap goes 16.430. His first lap was quicker at 16.305.
Rolling out next, a pair of Kubota High Limit competitors set to qualify. From Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella Avani Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, cut number 13 is Dason Pursley. And from Waco, Texas, in the Albaugh, your alternative, Infamous Inc., Burko Redwoods, Bush's Chicken, cut number 9R, the quickest chicken, Chase Randall. Chase Randall in the 9R, Dason Pursley in the Pella Windows, car number 13. First lap time for Dason Pursley. And he didn't stop the clock there. 15.679, and first lap time for Randall, 15.792. Randall good enough for 17th quick. Lap number 2 for Dason is 16th fastest, 15.974, 1.5974. Lap number 2 for Chase Randall, 12th quick, 15.631, 1.5631.
Your next two Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers rolling onto the speedway from Altoona, Iowa. The Country Builders Construction, DeBerg Concrete, Justice Brothers, Skadden Construction, Pro Diesel number 24 of Terry McCarl. And from Gravois Mills, Missouri, the Smart Growth Industries High Performance Lubricants Ozark Barge and Dock Wet Steps, number 3 of Ayrton Jeniton. Terry McCarl in 24, Ayrton Jeniton in car number 3. T-Max, 7 championships here at the Knoxville Raceway, 59 career victories. And Ayrton Jeniton in car number 3, 1 career win here, came in 2022. First lap for T-Mac, 20th quick, 15.867, 15.867. Ayrton Jeniton, 18th fastest, 15.795, 15.795. McCarl goes 15.859, 15.859. Ayrton Jeniton up to 13th quick at a 15.641, 15.641.
Rolling out next from Kokomo, Indiana, the Indy Race Parts, Charlie Garrett Racing and his chalk sticks, car number 71 of Parker Price Miller. And also on the racetrack now from Liston, Indiana, the Horsepower Incorporated Pennock Insurance DWD Company, car number 23L. That's Jimmy Light. Jimmy Light in the 23L. PPM has 1 top 10 finish with the World of Outlaws back at Volusia in February, a 9th place finish for him. First lap time for Parker Price Miller is 11th quick, 15.591, 15.591. First lap time for Jimmy Light is a 16.302, 16.302. Lap number 2 for Parker Price Miller is a 15.766, 15.766. Good enough for 11th quick. And second lap time for Jimmy Light, 15.958, 15.958.
Leading the next pair onto the speedway for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying from Lemoore, California, the Albaugh, your alternative, MVT, Tarleton & Son, Sage Family, Scott Boyd Family, Complete Parts and Equipment Solutions, number 41, that's Carson Macedo. And joining him from Hartford, South Dakota, in the Sioux Falls, Kenworth, Beat Motorsports, Dakota Cub Aircraft, King Racing Products, number 80P, Jacob Peterson. Carson Macedo in 41, Jacob Peterson in the 80P. Macedo, 4 career wins here in 410 action to go along with 1 360 victory. 3 appearances here last year for Jacob Peterson. His best run, a 21st place effort. Macedo, 24th quick on lap 1, 16.006, 16.006. Jacob Peterson goes 16.575, 16.575. Macedo up to 13th quick on lap 2, 15.610, 15.610. Jacob Peterson goes faster the second time around as well with a 16.260, 16.260.
Rolling off next from Fargo, North Dakota, the CarQuest Curb Martin One Source, car number 15, that is Donnie Schatz. And from Leduc, Alberta, Canada, the Warrior Building Development, Building Packages Direct, Nelson Brothers Construction, Pack Rat Dumpsters, car number 99 of Skylar G. Skylar G in the 99. Donnie Schatz with 2 top 5s, his best, a 3rd place finish at the I-55 Federated Auto Parts Raceway back on the 12th, and a 5th place at Cotton Bowl Speedway in March. First lap time for Donnie Schatz is a 15.892, 15.892. Lap number 1 for Skylar G is a 16.050, 16.050. Lap number 2 for Donnie Schatz is a 15.841. He improves on lap number 2, 15.841. And second lap time for Skylar G is a 15.699, 15.699. That's good enough for 21st quickest.
So G and Donnie Schatz both in a non-qualifiers race as we bring the final pair for Honest Abe Roofing Flight B. Correction on that. 2 of the final 3 now making their way onto the speedway. Out first from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, in the TK Concrete Maxim Trucking Elite Insulation Zip Bonds, number 55B, the Madman, Kerry Manson. And from Hartford, South Dakota, in the GNR Controls, Midwestern Mechanical, Haugen Goodman, at number 8H, Jacob Hughes. Kerry Manson in 55V, Jacob Hughes in the 8H. The Madman, 11th on the all-time win list here with 27 Knoxville victories. 2005 track champion. His first lap, 15.54215, 542. That is 10th quick. First time by for Jacob Hughes, 16.423, 16423. Madsen, second lap, 15.704. First lap better at 15.542. Second lap time for Jacob Hughes improves to a 16.197, 16197.
And the final car in qualifying flight A of Honest Abe Roof qualifying is the car from Coleman, Alabama, the Highbreeder Motorsports, the branch event venue, JR1, car number 19 of Kevin Thomas Jr. KTJ's best finish this season has been a 5th at Paragon on the 14th of March. As KTJ takes the green flag, the final car here in qualifying flight A of Honest Abe Roof qualifying. Bring the next qualifying flight B. They'll come out for their hot lap session, followed by their qualifying times in a moment. First lap time for Kevin Thomas Jr., 16.029, 16029. That is 28th quickest. And lap number 2 for Kevin Thomas Jr. is a 15.842, better on lap number 2, 15.842.
So that wraps up Flight A of Honest Abe Roof in qualifying. Your fastest driver in that flight, Rico Abreu, in car number 24A. His time 15.202 seconds at 121.958 miles per hour for the average speed. Emerson Axum second quick at a 15.208. Kyle Larson third at a 15.269. Tyler Courtney fourth, and Cole Macedo rounds out the top 5, followed by Ryan Timms in 6th. Brian Brown 7th fastest. Spencer Baston 8th. JJ Hickle 9th, and Kerry Madsen completing the top 10 in Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Tony, we could definitely see the track slowing down throughout the process of Flight A of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. So impressive stuff for Kerry Madsen, who went out very late and still managed to get that Vermeer 55V into the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a lot of good cars not make it into the top 20, one of those being Donnie Schatz. But that's also the beauty of this split group qualifying.
Yeah, the drivers don't have to qualify against the entire field when the track starts to slow down. Like we saw in Flight A, drivers in each flight qualify only against each other, not against the entire field. So for the drivers who drawn further on back in the qualifying order, not at such a disadvantage to have to compete with the drivers who went out when the track was quicker. So we get set for 4 more practice sessions. These are the drivers we'll see in Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. We mentioned 65 cars signed in for competition. We will tell you that Jack Anderson will be the final qualifier in Flight B. He will come out for qualifying only, then they're going to load up. They need to make a qualifying attempt to gain their show-up points for weekly competition here at the Knoxville Raceway. So Jack Anderson will take qualifying laps only and then be done for the evening as Flight B's first practice session rolls onto the speedway, led out by the Alaskan native now living in Heartland, Wisconsin, driving the Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, Honest Abe Roofing, Lean Acres, Leisure Time Golf Carts, number 17B, the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. And behind him, car number 12X, Cameron Key. Key is out of Warrensburg, Missouri, the Beaver Drill and Tool, Saw Drill Manufacturing, Bleeding Disorders of the Heartland, number 12X. Car number 27, the Jetco Blondie Motorsports entry. That is Austin McCarl out of Altoona, Iowa, the 27M. Also brought to you by City Vending, DeBerg Concrete, and JLT Enterprises. And his brother, Austin McCarl, the 3-time Knoxville Raceway champion, rolls down the front stretch in the Country Builders Construction, Ochoco, West Tucker Trucking, Ophil Family, Bosma Poultry, number 88. From Fresno, California, in the Logan Contractor Supply, Hawkeye Truck Equipment, JMT Trucking, Precision Underground Utilities, number 18, Hot Sauce, Gio Scelzi. And from Pleasantville, Iowa, the I-80 Concrete, Double Doe, Ankeny Home Service, Pro Diesel, Pearson Dirt Works, number 1 of Tasker Phillips. And from Knoxville, Iowa, the QTC Goodnoe Promotion, Stivers Ford Lincoln, Schilling Excavating, number 22 of Riley Goodnoe. Green flag waving on practice session number 1 for Flight B. Austin McCarl, the first driver into the 15s in this group at a 15.999. Now Gio Scelzi tops him, going 15.825. Carson McCarl currently third quicks at a 16.142. Carson McCarl joining older brother Austin and Gio Scelzi in the 15s at a 15.922. Checkered flag waving on practice session number 1 for Flight B. Gio Scelzi, quick as 15.825. Austin McCarl second, 15.834. Carson McCarl third at a 15.922. We did miss the number 71W out there in that practice session. Out of Indianola, Iowa, the P&P Concrete Construction, Paul Wilson Enterprises, JNG Transportation, Central Iowa Welding. 71W was Brandon Worthington. Second practice session rolling onto the speedway. Out first from Hanover, Pennsylvania in the Dryden Duramax, Federated Auto Parts, C&D Rigging, Shark Racing number 1, S. Logan Schuchart.
And behind him through turn number 2 from Evans City, Pennsylvania, the Barris Truck Service, Barris Supply, Atwell and Perrine Excavating, Top Shelf Trucking, Bad Boy Mowers, car number 32B, that's Brandon Spithaller.
From Adel, Iowa, piloting the TNS Industries, the pack, Carbless, Right Choice Shearing, Corrosion X number 1K, Kelby Watt.
And rolling through the bottom of turns 3 and 4, from Sykeston, Missouri, the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Logan Contractor Supply, Zip Bond, Smokers Choice Inland Rigging, car number 55 of Hunter Schurenberg.
World of Outlaws rookie contender from Columbia, Missouri, the SNS Nationwide, CSC Group, LRI, Eagle Stop, Missouri Games, Impact Signs, Abbott Telecom, 23, Garrett Williamson.
And from Indianapolis, Indiana, the C&D Rigging, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Tully's Heating and Cooling, Steve Beitler Yacht Charters, Hellraiser Jack's car number 6 of Zach Hampton.
Jamie Ball, fastest so far in this group, 16.177. RJ Johnson out there as well on car number 121, the Vortex Racing Products, FSR Racing Products, entry RJ out of Knoxville, Iowa, the 121. Caution on the speedway. Car slow on the top of the speedway in turn 2, that is the 32B of Brandon Spithaller. So Brandon Spithaller with an issue during practice for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying in the 32B after getting a lap in at 17.193 seconds. Spithaller making just his second ever appearance here at the Knoxville Raceway, going back to an appearance with the All-Star Circuit of Champions here in 2018. Finished 11th in the C-Main that night. Jamie Ball was the fastest driver in the second practice session at 15.886. Gio Scelzi still topped the speed chart, followed by Austin McCarl as group number 3 rolls onto the speedway. Led out by car number 6X, the Hellraiser Jacks Ice Contractors, New Era Plumbing, entry out of Indianola, Iowa, the driver Dustin Selvage.
From Ankeny, Iowa, driving the C&D Elevator Construction, Hireview Enterprises, Heartland Steel, Tom Davis Automotive, car number 4 of Cam Martin.
From Canton, Illinois, in the NOS Energy Drink King Racing Products, Jim Shuknick, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers, number 7S, it's Chris Wyndham.
And rolling down the back straightaway now from Clute, Texas, in the Power Plus, Fulkins Brothers Trucking, STC Global, Commercial Edge, Rasmussen Service Center, car number 87, that's Aaron Reitzel.
And from Liberal, Kansas, the Bobby Electric Trucks Plus Mel Hamilton Racing, Dawn Racing Engine Superior Trailer number 36, Jason Martin.
And rolling through the turn from Watertown, Connecticut, the Houston Speedway, BillionAuto.com, Jackson Motorplex, Prosper Real Estate Investments, JRC Transportation, car number 2 of David Gravel.
And car number 44X on the speed with the Joshua Jenkins Realty Tubba entry out of Melcher, Dallas, Iowa, Scotty Johnson.
And driving car number 49, that's the Napa KKR with Mike Curb, Napa Brumos Collection Maximum Oil, car number 49 from Grass Valley, California, the Big Cat Brad Sweet.
David Gravel jumps to the top of the speed chart, 15.739. Brad Sweet, 7th quick so far at a 16.110 as we wave the checkered flag. Aaron Reitzel into the 4th spot at a 15.843. David Gravel now fastest in practice for Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Final practice session set to roll on the speedway for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. First driver underway from Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator Construction, Higher View Enterprises, Heartland Steel, Tom Davis Automotive, number 44 of Chris Martin.
From Bradenton, Florida, the Tubba Amalie Oil, USA Steel Fence, Autoloads.com, car number 28M of Connor Morrell.
And from Burlington, Iowa, the Schaefer Construction, Dennis Woodworth, Attorney at Law, Flex Suites on Maples, B&L Holdings, Rexco Equipment 15 Jr. of Coal Meinzer.
And from Pengrove, California, the TRD, Mobile One, Roth Motorsports, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation, car number 83 of Buddy Kofoid.
From T, South Dakota, the Dammer Trucking, Franklin Motor Company, Octane Inc., West River Trailer Sales, State Bank of Fairmont, number 09 of Matt Jewell.
And rolling down the back straightaway, driving car number 45 from Benton, Arkansas, the J.B. Henderson Construction, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, Miller Bond and MPV Logistics, car number 45X of Landon Crawley.
And from Owasso, Oklahoma, the Acres Away Ag, Dakota Alignment, King Racing Products, Dammer Trucking, Lundstrom Motorsports, number 3, L. Darren Pitman.
And from Sydney, New South Wales, the Trone Outdoor Advertising, Ty Luke Munsters Racing, car number 39 of Linton Jeffrey.
Final practice session of the evening under green flag conditions. Buddy Kofoid into the top 5 at a 15.879. Chris Martin 7th quick at a 15.892. Kofoid now into the 2nd spot, just behind David Gravel. Buddy Kofoid has gone 15.769. Fastest driver in the final practice session, 2nd quickest overall in warm-ups for Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, Buddy Kofoid. Car number 83 going 15.769, 3/100ths of a second behind the fastest man in those practice sessions, David Gravel, in car number 2 at 15.739 and 117.797 miles per hour. As we prepare for Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, downstairs to Connor Wade.
So back to Flight A for a sec. Rico Abreu quickest in that qualifying, 15.202. Rico, the red wine on the side of this thing looks fast tonight. What do you feel like your car is capable of so far?
Definitely balanced. These guys are working really hard on just getting this car comfortable for me. So qualifying's a crucial part of our night, and it's important we execute as a team, communicate, just make small adjustments there. We got the luxury to practice on Thursday night, so gets us up to speed a little bit faster and knock the rust off my elbows.
Smile on Rico Abreu's face as he sets quick time in Flight A. Guys, if it holds up to be the overall quick time of the night, it will be his 7th career fast time here in Knoxville.
Thanks so much, Connor Wade, as we get set to bring 2 cars at a time on the Speedway. Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. And just like we saw in Flight A, only the top 20 advance directly into heat races 3 and 4. Everybody else will be in the second non-qualifiers race to kick off our competitive action here this evening.
First 2 cars rolling out for Flight B of Honest Abe Roof qualifying. First of those 2, from Altoona, Iowa, driving the Country Builders Construction, Ochoco West, Tucker Trucking, Ophil Family, Bosma Poultry. Car number 88, that's the 3-time and defending Knoxville track champion, Austin McCarl. And also on the racetrack now from Indianola, Iowa, the P&P Concrete Construction, Paul Wilson Enterprises, J&G Transport, Central Iowa Welding, car number 71W of Brandon Worthington. Brandon Worthington and Austin McCarl. Austin's best run in this season has been a second at Paris Auto Speedway back in March. First lap time for Austin is a 15.918, 15.918. First lap time coming up for Brandon Worthington is a 16.609, 16.609. Lap number 2 for Austin McCarl is a 16.204, 16.204. And lap number 2 for Brandon Worthington, 16.398, 16.398.
Next 2 for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying from Knoxville, Iowa in the QTC. Goodnow Promotions, Stivers Ford Lincoln, Schilling Excavating, number 22, Riley Goodnow. And joining him from Warrensburg, Missouri, the Beaver Drill and Tool, Saw Drill Manufacturing, Bleeding Disorders of the Heartland, number 12X, Cameron Key. Riley Goodnow in 22, Cameron Key in the 12X. Cameron Key making his first 410 start here at the Knoxville Raceway. 4 starts this season with the World of Outlaws at Volusia. Best finished 10th in a Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Riley Goodnow, quick time on lap 1 at a 15.890, 15.890. Cameron Key, 16.166, 16.166. Goodnow at a 16.762. First lap better, I should say, 15.890. Second lap for Cameron Key, 17.074. His first lap official was 16.166.
From Harlan, Wisconsin, the Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, Honest Abe Roofing, Lean Acres, Leisure Time Golf Carts, car number 17B. That's the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. And also on the clock now, from Altoona, the Jetco, Blondie Motorsports, City of Hindenburg Concrete, JLT Enterprises, car number 27M of Carson McCarl. Bill Baylog picked up a win this season at the Talladega Short Track back in March. Carson McCarl has 1 top 5 finish to his season in 410 competition at the Texas Motor Speedway. First lap time for Bill Baylog, 16.005. That's third quick, 16.005. First lap time for Carson McCarl is quick time, 15.752, 15.752. Lap number 2 for Bill Baylog, fourth quickest, 16.127. 16.127, and lap number 2 for Carson McCarl is a 16.297. His first lap better and good enough for quick time, 15.752.
Next pair rolling on to the Speedway from Fresno, California in the Logan Contractor Supply, Hawkeye Truck Equipment, JMT Trucking Precision Underground Utilities, number 18, Hot Sauce Giovanni Scelzi. And joining him from Pleasantville, Iowa in the I-80 Concrete, Double Doe Ankeny Home Service, Pro Diesel, Pearson Dirtworks, number 1, Tasker Phillips. Giovanni Scelzi in the 18, Tasker Phillips in car number 1. 5 career Knoxville Raceway victories for Giovanni Scelzi, including Nationals prelim last year. Tasker Phillips got his first career wins in both the 410s and 360s here last season. Lap number 1 for Scelzi, 5th quick, 16.095, 16.095. Tasker Phillips, fourth quick at a 15.973, 1.5973. Second time around, second quick for Scelzi at a 15.796, 1.5796. Tasker Phillips, third quick at a 15.886, 1.5886.
Next car to roll trackside from here in Knoxville, the Accurate Machine Works, Red Motorsports, Van Gorp Construction, Randall Roofing, DC Underground, car number 4W. That's Jamie Ball. Jamie Ball in the 4W. And also on the racetrack now, from Evans City, Pennsylvania, the Bears Truck Service, Bears Supply, Atwell, and Perrine Excavating, Top Shelf Trucking, Bad Boy Motors, 32B of Brandon Spitholler. Brandon Spitholler. And he is off the pedal, pulling to the infield. Jamie Ball is our defending 360 track champion in that 4W. First lap time for Jamie Ball is sixth quickest, 15.977, 1.5977. Jamie Ball doing double duty last season, but managed to pick up the 360 track championship, his first for the driver out of Knoxville, Iowa. Lap number 2 for Jamie Ball is a 16.217, 1.6217. His first lap better, 15.977.
Next two to make their way onto the speedway from Knoxville, Iowa, the Vortex Racing Products, FSR Racing Products, 121 of R.J. Johnson. And paired with him from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in the Hefty Seed Blondie Motorsports, Falcons Brothers Trucking, Odds Underground, number 6K, Caleb Johnson. R.J. Johnson in the 121, Caleb Johnson in the number 6K. RJ making his return to the Knoxville Raceway after taking a year off, a 360 sprint car winner here in 2012. Caleb Johnson, meanwhile, last year's Houston Speedway champion. Johnson, a 360 winner here last season. Caleb Johnson, that is. Lap 1 for RJ, 17.399, 1.7399. Caleb Johnson's opening lap, 16.034, 1.6034. Second lap time for R.J. Johnson improves to a 17.096, 1.7096. Caleb Johnson's second lap, 16.060. His first lap better at 16.034.
Next to clock in from Hanover, Pennsylvania, the Federated Auto Parts, Dryden, Duramax, C&D Rigging, Shark Racing, car number 1S of Logan Schuchart. And from Sykeston, Missouri, in the TK Concrete, Maxim Trucking, Logan Contractor Supply, Zip Bond, Smoker's Choice, Inland Rigging, car number 55, 100%, Hunter Schurenberg. Logan Schuchart, the series' most recent winner at the I-55 Federated Auto Parts Raceway. Hunter Schurenberg with 4 top 10s on his season. First lap time for Logan is second quick, 15.780, 1.5780. Lap number 1 for Hunter Schurenberg, 11th quick, 16.171, 1.6171. Second lap time for Logan Schuchart, still second quick, 16.036. His first lap better, 15.780. And Hunter Schurenberg will stop the clock on lap number 2, 16.246. His first lap also better, 16.171.
From Columbia, Missouri, driving the SNS Nationwide, CSC Group, LRI, Eagle Stop, Missouri Games, Impact Signs, Abbott Telecom, number 23, Garrett Williamson. And paired with him from Adel, Iowa, in the TNS Industries, the Pack Carbless, Right Choice Shearing, Corrosion X, number 1K, Kelby Watt. Garrett Williamson in 23, Kelby Watt in the 1K. Williamson with one career 410 sprint car win here. That came last year. He's also a 2-time 360 winner here at the Knoxville Raceway. Kelby Watt, 4 career wins here in the pro sprint ranks, 14th in last year's 410 point standings. Lap 1 for Garrett Williamson, 10th quick, 16.137, 1.6137. Kelby Watt's opening lap time, 16.170, 1.6170. Williamson on lap 2, 16.447. First lap faster, 16.137. Kelby Watt goes 16.400 on lap 2. His first lap is better at 16.170.
So Carson McCarl, still your quick qualifier, 15.752. Next to qualify from Canton, Illinois, the NOS, King Racing Products, Jim Schuchart, High Performance Lubricants, Phillips and Tosco Developers, car number 7S. This is Big Daddy Chris Wyndham. And also on the racetrack now from Melcher, Dallas, and the Joshua Jenkins Realty Tub of Towels, car number 44X, that's Scotty Johnson. Scotty Johnson in the 44X. Chris Wyndham has a best of an 8th place finish at Volusia back in March. Then he's got a pair of 9ths and a pair of 10ths on his scorecard for the season. First lap time for Chris Wyndham is 8th quick, 15.985, 159.85. First lap time for Scotty Johnson, 16.941, 16941. Lap number 2 for Wyndham is a 16.194, 16194. His first lap was better, puts him 8th quickest. And lap number 2 for Scotty Johnson is a 16.842, 16842, 16th quick.
Next pair out for Honest Abe Roofing qualifying flight B. From Indianola, Iowa, the Hellraiser Jacks Ice Contractors New Era Plumbing, number 6X of Dustin Selvage. And along with him, from Liberal, Kansas, the Vibey Electric Trucks Plus, Mill Hamilton Racing, Dawn Racing Engines, Superior Trailer, number 36 of Jason Martin. Dustin Selvage in 6X, 7 career wins here in 360 action. Best finish last year in the 410s, a 7th place run. Jason Martin, 5th place here in 2006, the best of 16 career starts at the Knoxville Raceway. Dustin Selvage, 16th quick on lap 1, 16.522, 16522. Jason Martin, 17.262, 17262. Selvage's second lap improves to a 16.517, 16517. Jason Martin a little better as well at a 17.168, 17168.
The series point leader rolls out next to qualify from Watertown, Connecticut, the Houston Speedway, BillionAuto.com, Jackson Motorplex, Prosper Real Estate Investments, JRC Transportation. Car number 2 of David Gravel. And also on the track from Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator Construction, Higherview Enterprises, Heartland Steel, Tom Davis Automotive, car number 4 of Cam Martin. Cam Martin in car number 4, David Gravel in the 2. David Gravel 5 times to victory lane, his most recent at the Cotton Bowl Speedway on the 22nd of March, where he went back-to-back wins. First lap time for David Gravel, 4th quickest, 15.823, 15823. First lap time for Cam Martin is 18th quick, 16.693, 16693. Lap number 2 for David Gravel, 15.817, 15817. He improves, still 4th quickest. And lap number 2 for Cam Martin is a 16.327. He also improves on his second lap, 16327.
Next 2 Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers from Clute, Texas, the Power Plus Vulcans Brothers Trucking, STC Global Commercial Edge, Rasmussen Service Center, American Table number 87 of Aaron Reitzel. And from Grass Valley, California, the Casey Kane Racing with Mike Curb, Napa, Brumo's Collection, Maximal Oil number 49, the Big Cat, Brad Sweet. Aaron Reitzel in 87, Brad Sweet in the number 49. Reitzel has 11 career victories here at Knoxville. He was 2nd in the point standings last year. Also 14 career 360 wins here. 7 career Knoxville wins for Brad Sweet. Opening lap, 5th quick for Aaron Reitzel, 15.877, 15877. Brad Sweet's opening lap time, 12th quick, 16.009, 16009. Quick time for Aaron Reitzel on lap 2 at a 15.717, 15717. Brad Sweet's second lap time, 16.343. His first lap official at 16.009. Aaron Reitzel now fastest in Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, 15.717.
2 more cars make their way out to qualify. The first from Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator Construction, Higherview Enterprises, Heartland Steel, Tom Davis Automotive, car number 44. That's Chris Martin. Chris Martin in the 44. And from Burlington, Iowa, the Schaefer Construction, Dennis Woodworth, attorney at law, Flex Suites on Maples, B&L Holdings, Rexco Equipment, car number 15, junior of Cole Meitzer. Cole Meitzer in the 15 Junior. Chris Martin has picked up a win in 360 competition this season at the 34 Raceway in April. First lap time for Martin is 14th quickest, 16.076, 16076. First lap time for Cole Meitzer, 17.699, 17699. Lap number 2 for Martin, 16.175. And lap number 2 for Meitzer is an 18.355.
Your next two Honest Abe Roofing qualifiers from Penn Grove, California, the Toyota Racing Development, Mobile One Roth Motorsports, Roth Enterprises, HR Livestock Transportation, number 83, Buddy Kofoid. And along with him from Bradenton, Florida, in car number 28M, the Tub of Tiles, Amelie Oil, USA Steel Fence, Autoloads.com, entry for Connor Morrell. Buddy Kofoid in 83, Connor Morrell in 28M. Kofoid here at the Knoxville Raceway, second with the All-Stars in 2023, the best of his 17 career appearances. His opening lap is 16th quick at a 16.164, 16164. First time by for Connor Morrell, who makes his second career Knoxville start tonight, 17.003, 17003. Kofoid's second lap, 16.191. First lap better at 16.164. Connor Morrell up a spot to a 16.540, 16540. 23rd quick for car number 28M.
From T, South Dakota, the Dammer Trucking, Franklin Motor Company, Octane Inc., West River Trailer Sales, State Bank of Fairmont, credit number 09, that's Matt Jewell. And from Sydney, New South Wales, the Trone Outdoor Advertising, Ty Lube, Glen Stires Racing, credit number 39, that's Linton Jeffrey. Linton has one fourth place finish this season. That came in January at the Sydney International Speedway. Linton's qualified for 5 features this season, those coming at Port Royal, Baps, and 2 in Australia. First lap time coming up for Matt Jewell is a 16.400, 16400. First lap time for Linton is a 17.059, 17059. Matt Jewell comes around on lap number 2. He will clock in with a 17.550, good enough for 22nd quick, 17550. And Linton's second lap is off the pace a bit, 16.827, 16827.
The next two onto the speedway from Wausau, Oklahoma, in the Acres Away Ag Dakota alignment, King Racing Products, Dammer Trucking, Leinster Motorsports, number 3L, Darren Pitman. And paired with him from Benton, Arkansas, driving the J.B. Henderson Construction, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Smith Titanium, Miller Bonded, MPV Logistics, number 45X, Landon Crawley. Darren Pitman in the 3L, Landon Crawley in the 45X. 3 wins, 30 top 5s in 143 career Knoxville Raceway starts for Darren Pitman, who also has 86 career World of Outlaws victories. First lap time for Darren Pitman, 16.403, 16403. 23rd quick. Cam Martin still on the bubble for heat race competition. First lap time for Landon Crawley, 16.876, 16876. Darren Pitman goes 16.357, 16357. Still not good enough to bump Cam Martin from a heat race. And the second lap time for Landon Crawley is a 16.945. First lap better at 16.876. That wraps up Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. The fast qualifier in Flight B, car number 87, Aaron Reitzel, at 15.717 seconds, 117.961 miles per hour. Carson McCarl, second quick, 15.752. Logan Schuchart, third, 15.780. Giovanni Scelzi, fourth, and David Gravel rounds out the top 5 in Flight B of Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Your overall fast qualifier, tonight's Simpson Quick Time Award winner in car number 24A, Rico Abreu. And we'll send it downstairs to Connor Wade.
Aaron Reitzel goes quick time in Flight B with a 15.717. Aaron, early on in the night, it looked like the track was kind of sloppy and just the water that they laid down right before hot laps. Now that that's blown off, what kind of surface do you feel like we have to deal with for the rest of the night?
I think it's going to be, it's shaping up to be really good right now. But yeah, hats off to Sloppy indeed. Hats off to my guys there in hot laps. Went in a little low in 3 and ran over one of those big clumps of mud and actually knocked the radiator out of it. And we had to cut the radiator out because it wrapped it around the oil pump so bad. So hats off to my guys that we even got back out there because it wasn't looking good there for a little bit. But we never gave up and got back out there, and it paid off so far.
Glad you made it out. Aaron Reitzel, quick time in Flight B. So good here at the Knoxville Raceway. He's won the season opener here at the Sprint Car Capital of the World the last 2 years. Can he make it 3 in a row tonight?
Thank you, Connor Wade. We'll find out when racing action resumes right after this quick break on DIRTVision.
Let's give away some Casey's popcorn. One lucky row will win 10 free bags of Casey's popcorn from our friends at Casey's. Also, tonight's winner will receive Casey's popcorn in Casey's Victory Lane. Tonight's winning row is in Section B, as in boy, B16. Section B, row 16, you've got 10 bags of Casey's popcorn coming your way, courtesy of our friends at Casey's. Also want to say a special thank you to Dan and Carlene Aftal and Blondie Motorsports for the new flag outside of turn number 1, the big flag on the big pole over there. They donate that every year, so special thanks to them. And of course, Blondie had a birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to Carlene.
Welcome to our world. The world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Get ready for an outlaw bullring battle at Jacksonville.
They'll race side by side out of corner number 4. Trying to take the lead. They'll go wheel to wheel into turn 3. Splitting cars in turns 3 and 4 and 3 wide. Trying to power back around. He'll have a run out of turn number 4. We've got a race for the lead out of turn 2.
The dirt is what we live for. Come see the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars near you.
Looking for a refreshing change? Say goodbye to sluggish performance and reach for the one that won't slow you down.
That's crisp.
Experience the force of clean, pure oil coursing through your engine. No matter what you drive, Wix Filters is the clear choice. Here's to filtration that works as hard as you do. Wix Premium Filters. Performance starts here.
Racing is tough. It's not a sport for the weak, and the winning desire has to flow through your veins. Established in 1993 and only stocked in top-rated manufacturers is why BR Motorsports is your one-stop shop when it comes to your sprint car and midget needs. Call us today at 1-800-328-3333 and talk to racers to get the right parts you need when you need them. BR Motorsports, the leaders in sprint car parts technology.
The greatest shows on dirt have the best fan gear in motorsports. Can't wait to get to the track to pick up the latest World of Outlaw gear? Slide on over to worldofoutlaws.com. You'll find hats, shirts, hoodies, and other souvenirs for all fans. Visit the Outlaw General Store online today at worldofoutlaws.com.
This is the face of the modern-day outlaw. He's Donnie Schatz, the most prolific sprint car driver of his generation.
The third driver in the history of the greatest show on dirt with 300 career wins.
10-time champion and winner of every major race.
Oh, shit, they paid. Hell yeah.
This guy is also an accomplished pilot.
My passengers never complain. You know why?
Donnie's dad is his hero, and he's a grandpa.
Apparently, I've got this old status now because I'm a grandpa.
Just don't disrespect him.
I was the only 5-time national champion. Now it's 6. So thank you guys for the motivation in turn 3. That's just what I needed.
Forever an outlaw. See Donnie Schatz add to his legacy every week on DIRTVision.
Lineups being posted in the pit area. First events on the race program will be our 2 non-qualifiers races. There'll be 8 laps in distance. The top 2 finishers advance to the heat races. Top 2 in non-qualifiers race number 1 go to heat races 1 and 2, and the top 2 in Non-qualifiers race number 2 go to heat races 3 and 4. Some interesting looking heat race lineups in front of us here in the booth as well. Some big names coming from very deep in heat race competition, and could be even more big names coming out of the non-qualifiers races, as there are some certainly stars in those races here this evening as well.
These look like Nationals heat races. Looks like the pack trucks are going to come out and just run a few laps here before we get into opening ceremonies.
World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series returns for the second round of the Premier Chevy Dealers Clash on Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th. That is Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, right back here at the Knoxville Raceway. And then on to one of the premier events in all of sprint car racing. It is the World of Outlaws BillionAuto.com Houston's High Bank Nationals presented by Menards. Starts off with the running of the Houston's Hustle Wednesday and Thursday, June 18th and 19th, and then that BillionAuto.com Houston's High Bank Nationals presented by Menards Friday and Saturday, June 20th and 21st. 4 big nights of racing at the Houston Speedway in Brandon, South Dakota, and you can get your tickets now at HoustonSpeedway.com.
And coming up next Friday will be practice night for the 410s, Randall Roofing 360s, and Pro Sprints. And then the CraigFord.com season opener for our weekly competition kicks off next Saturday night with the 410 sprint cars, the Randall Roofing 360s, and the Pro Sprints. So practice on Friday night, and then we'll come right back on Saturday night with our regular season CraigFord.com season opener.
And of course, Knoxville Raceway, part of the DIRTVision family of racetracks, bringing you action each and every week here from the sprint car capital of the world. A look at Sheldon Hodenshield down in the pit area, surveying the crew going to work on the Stenhouse Junior Marshall Motorsports number 17. Sheldon Hodenshield's got some work ahead of him. He will start 9th in our opening heat race here this evening.
Great to see everyone over at the Brian Clausen Suite Tower, the folks at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, and boys, how cool is it to see the folks sitting out on the front of the Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower over there outside of turn number 2. Just another cool feature here at the Knoxville Raceway. If you didn't notice as you walked around today, a bunch of paving was done outside of turn number 3 over the off season. Some more paving here on the front straightaway side back by the t-shirt vending areas. So Marion County Fair Association continuing to reinvest in facilities and continuing to up the ante on venues here at the Knoxville Raceway.
DIRTVision drone flying by the Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower on the outside of corner number 2. Man, what a fantastic job they've done of getting that thing up and running and ready for racing action here. I know they were scrambling here the last couple of days trying to get everything ready to go for tonight's racing program.
Yeah, Mayor Hatch was here the other day and even talked about the difficulties that they had in moving utilities and things because it is so close to the highway out there. So our hats off to everyone. And just want to say again, really a special thank you to Dennis Albaugh. It was great to have him over there for the ribbon cutting and just to know all the things that Dennis is involved in with his professional race horses and all the things there, and the fact that he continues to reinvest in sprint car racing is just very appreciated. And we say thank you, Mr. Albaugh, for that great tower outside of turn number 2.
We'll send it down to the infield pit area and Connor Wade.
Yeah, Dice Cole Macedo, impressive in Flight A of qualifying tonight. 5th in that group. He is going to start 3rd in the night's first heat race. Cole, qualifying has been something that admittedly you and Wayne Johnson have struggled with here early in 2025. What allowed you guys to flip the script and qualify so well here tonight?
Yeah, I think that test session there Thursday got us working on our stuff, and a good pill draw I think really helped there. So super happy with the speed out of this 2C racing machine here, and Wayne, Bud, and Casey, they're working really hard, and we actually had a rear end failure there in qualifying, so they got that thing changed, and luckily they caught that. So yeah, looking forward to this heat race. It's going to be a barn burner. There's a lot of really good guys in it, so hopefully we can make it our way through there and hopefully put ourselves in a good spot.
I know you're not really a guy that kind of gets caught up in the moment too much. You're pretty professional and have a good head on your shoulders, but competing at Knoxville Raceway as a full-time driver with the World of Outlaws, can that be intimidating for a rookie?
Yeah, for sure. This place is, I say all the time, I hate this place, but I want to be good at it so bad. You know, with all the history and, you know, the atmosphere at this place is unbelievable. So, yeah, I think we're in the step in the right direction tonight, qualifying good, and yeah, hopefully we just keep chipping away here and run geared here. That's the goal. I've always wanted to you know, show our stuff on the biggest showcase in the racing world, I believe.
How about the Tarleton car coming out to the Midwest so early in the year?
Yeah, it's cool to have Drew Warner and Nate here. You know, the car I drove last year, I love them guys so much. So it's cool to have them here. My brother right next to me as well. And yeah, it's awesome to be able to hang out with them and see them have some success this year as well. Yeah, so it's been awesome.
Cole Maceda will be in that first heat race of the night. Guys, we do want to extend our condolences to Wayne Johnson, whose mother passed away last weekend during our races at Peevely. Wayne was not at I-55 last Saturday night, took some time with family to mourn the loss of his mother, but back here at Knoxville this weekend.
Thank you, Connor Wade. And so again, you heard the pit PA system here at the Knoxville Raceway calling the cars in the first of two non-qualifiers races to the staging lanes. That means we are just a few moments away from officially kicking things off here at the sprint car capital of the world for what is now a one-night Premier Chevy Dealers Clash with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. And we certainly miss Eloy here. We miss you, Eloy Gutierrez. As true innovator in sprint car racing, he brought electronic timing and scoring, something we all now take for granted. He brought it to the forefront in sprint car racing more than 2 decades ago, and so many years as the official scorer of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Sadly, miss Eloy. It seems so strange to pull into the Knoxville Raceway and not see his motorhome alongside the barn over there outside of turn number 4. Looks like a top wing change perhaps taking place on Carson Macedo's number 41. Macedo, one of those drivers having to come from deep in heat race action. He'll start in the 7th spot in our second heat race this evening. Heat races this evening brought to you by NOS Energy Drink for heat race number 1. Real American Beer bringing you heat race number 2. Wix Filters sponsoring heat race number 3. And the greatest store on dirt presenting heat race number 4 here this evening. So it looks like we are officially set to kick things off here at the Knoxville Raceway. We're opening ceremonies and down to the victory lane stage and Connor Wade.
Thank you, John. Great to have so many people pack into the sprint car capital of the world on this Saturday night. We all get a win tonight because we beat Mother Nature, who spoiled the party last night, but a great 65-car field signed into the pit area this evening, and we're ready for non-qualifier action, and then heat races, alphabet soup, and of course tonight's feature. It's opening ceremonies time, so we asked everybody here in the crowd to please rise if you're able, and gentlemen, remove cover. Up in the booth to offer tonight's invocation, Brent Hanna.
Would you pray with me? Loving God, we thank you for this evening, and we thank you for the generosity of Dennis Albaugh. We ask your continued blessings upon this great nation. We pray that you watch over our military serving our country, and we pray for all of our veterans. Tonight, Lord, we pray your almighty protection upon this racetrack. Bring wisdom and safety upon the drivers, the crew members, and their families. We pray for the raceway staff, the support staff, the EMTs, and all the great fans who have assembled here to enjoy this greatest event on dirt track racing. For all of this and more we could ever imagine, to think of, or to pray for, we ask in the mighty name of Jesus the Christ. Amen.
And here to perform the Star Spangled Banner this evening, please welcome Jennifer Phelps.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fans in Knoxville, Iowa have waited 7.5 months to hear Tony Bachhoven say these 6 iconic words. Tony?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Do you want to get right? Let's get, let's get, let's get, let's get.
Your first of 2 non-qualifiers in staging. Your starting lineup will look like this. On the pole from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, driving the Pella, Avani Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design. It's the 13 of Dason Persley. And starting second from Leduc, Alberta, Canada, driving the Warrior Building Development, Building Packages Direct, Nelson Bros Construction, Pack Rat Dumpsters. That's the 99 of Skylar G. Rolling off third from Nixa, Missouri, driving the McGarry Machine and Welding, MRP Chassis, Victory Fuel, Speed Media, I&M Machine. That's the 31 of Kyle Bellum. And starting on his outside from Pleasantville, Iowa, driving the Ruan. We are Ruan.com, Mid-States Precast Products, Acre Edge Raceway Tire. That's the 3P of Sawyer Phillips. Rolling off fifth from Fargo, North Dakota, driving the CarQuest, Kerr, Martin One Source. That's the 15 of Donnie Schatz. And rolling off sixth from Coleman, Alabama, driving the Highbreeder Motorsports, the ranch event venue, JR1. That's the 19 of Kevin Thomas Jr. Starting seventh from Altoona, Iowa, driving the Country Builders, DeBerg Concrete, Justice Bros, Skadden Construction, Pro Diesel. It's the 24 of T-Mac, Terry McCarl. And rolling off eighth from Litson, Indiana, driving the Horsepower Incorporated, Pinnock Insurance, DWD Company. It's the 23L of Jimmy Light. Rolling off ninth from Hartford, South Dakota, driving the GNR Controls, Midwestern Mechanical, Haugen Goodman. That's the 8H of Jacob Hughes. And to his outside from Hartford, South Dakota, driving the Sioux Falls Kenworth, Beak Motorsports, Dakota Club Aircraft, King Racing Products. It's the 80P of Jacob Peterson. And rounding out the final rolls, starting 11th from Marshall, Missouri, driving the Northern Tier Outdoor, Community Auto Sales, Engine Connections. It's the 7BX of Ben Brown. And rounding out the field from Arvada, Colorado, driving the 360 Civil, KNC Drywall, Burke Motorsports. It's the 27B of Jake Buback.
As the field assembles for the first non-qualifiers race, quickly down to Connor Way.
That is obviously the odds stacked against Donnie Schatz, rolling off in a non-qualifier here tonight. However, think back, June of last season with the Outlaws right here at Knoxville, Donnie Schatz went from a non-qualifier to the top 10.
Thank you, Connor. Pace vehicles move into the infield. It is time for green flag action in non-qualifiers race number 1.
8 laps is the distance. Top 2 are off to the heat races. Dason Persley and Skylar G will work their way into turns 3 and 4. And for the first time in 2025, We are green at the Knoxville Raceway. Dason Persley leads the field off into turn 1 and 2. Skylar G slides into second. Sawyer Phillips in third. Side by side down the back straightaway. Donnie Schatz takes the 4th position away. Now all the way up to now 4th. Donnie Schatz gets around the 31. Back up front, battle for the lead. Dason Persley trying to hold off Skylar G. Skylar made an attempt in turn 1. Persley will go back down to the bottom of the racetrack and hug the berm. Smoke pouring out of the 99 machine as here comes Sawyer Phillips. Might try to make a run at the 99. Here's they go off into turn 1 and 2. Sawyer follows the 99 off into turn number 2, now down the back straightaway. Don't look now, but here comes Donnie Schatz. Schatz goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll slide up in front of Sawyer Phillips. Phillips has to get on the binders. Now he's going to try to cut it back underneath. Donnie Schatz going to try to pull him as they go off back into 1. Schatz slams the door on Sawyer Phillips. Now looks ahead and sees a spot in a heat race. Skylar G trying to pull him down off into 3 and 4. And off of turn 4, Dason Persley leads the way. 4 laps to go in your first non-qualifier of 2 tonight. Donnie Schatz working the top of the racetrack. Sawyer Phillips not too far behind. There's your gap between Skylar G and Donnie Schatz, both running the bottom of the racetrack here. They'll see 3 laps to go here at the start-finish line. Dason Persley continues to lead the way by a gap of 1.3 seconds. Schatz trying to close in on the 99. He'll see 2 laps to go this time around. Does he have anything for the 99 of Skylar G? Dason Persley continues to lead. Leads shrunk down just a little bit there, 1.2 seconds. Skylar G running the top, Persley on the bottom. Donnie Schatz still trying to close in on the 99, but he's running out of time. White flag one more time around in your first of 2 non-qualifiers. Dason Persley led from the drop of the green flag, has looked good the whole way. Skylar G looks to be comfortable in second. Donnie Schatz will take one last chance. He is not going to get there. Off of turn number 4, Dason Persley wins your first non-qualifier of the night. Himself and Skylar G will advance on to your heat races later tonight. Donnie Schatz will come home 3rd, Sawyer Phillips 4th, Kevin Thomas Jr. 5th, Ben Brown 6th, Kyle Bellum 7th, Jacob Hughes 8th, Jimmy Light 9th, Jacob Peterson 10th, Terry McCarl and Jake Buback will round out your field in non-qualifier race number 1. Non-qualifier number 2 set in staging. Your starting lineup will look like this. On the pole from Owasso, Oklahoma, driving the Acres Away Ag, Dakota Alignment, King Racing Products, Dammer Trucking, Lundstrom Motorsports, it's the 3L of Darren Pitman. And rolling off second from Indianola, Iowa, driving the P&P Concrete Construction, Paul Wilson Enterprises, J&G Transport, Central Iowa Welding, that's the 71W of Brandon Worthington. Rolling off 3rd from T, South Dakota, driving the Dammer Trucking, Frankman Motor Company, Octane Inc., West River Trailer Sales, State Bank of Fairmont, that's the 09 of Matt Jewell. And rolling off 4th from Indianola, Iowa, driving the Hellraiser Jacks, Ice Contractors, New Era Plumbing, that's the 6X of Dustin Selvage. And rolling off 5th from Bradenton, Florida, driving the Tubbo Towels, Emily Oil, US Steel Fence, Autoloads.com. That's the 28M of Connor Morrell. And starting 6th from Prairie City, Iowa, driving the Trone Outdoor Advertising, Ty Lube, Glenn Stiers Racing 39. That is Linton Jeffrey. Rolling off 4th from Melcher, Dallas, Iowa, driving the Joshua Jenkins Realty, Tubbo Towels, 44X, that is Scotty Johnson. And to his outside, rolling off 8th. From Benton, Arkansas, driving the JB Henderson Construction, MVT, Smith Titanium, Miller Bonded, MPV Logistics, that's the 49X of Landon Crawley. And rolling off 9th from Knoxville, Iowa, driving the Vortex Racing Products, FSR Racing Products, that's the 121 of RJ Johnson. And to his outside from Liberal, Kansas, driving the Bybee Electric, Trucks Plus, Mel Hamilton Racing, Donut Racing Engine, Superior Trailer, it's the 36 of Jason Martin. Rolling off 11th from Burlington, Iowa, driving the Schaefer Construction, Dennis Woodworth, Flex Suites on Maples, B&L Holdings, Rexco Equipment, it's the 15JR of Cole Meintzer. And rounding out the field from Butler, Pennsylvania, driving the Barris Truck Service, Barris Supply, Atwell and Perrine Excavating, Top Shelf Trucking, Bad Boy Mowers, it's the 32B of Brandon Spithaller. Brandon Spithaller in the 32B. 8 laps is the distance, top 2 to your heat races tonight.
Looks like a couple of scratches out of this second non-qualifiers race. That's the reason we stay under yellow flag conditions, getting the field realigned. Darren Pitman and Brandon Worthington from the front row. Matt Jewell, Dustin Selvage a scratch. That will move Connor Morrell to the outside of row number 2. Linton Jeffrey and I believe Scotty Johnson should be side by side in row number 3. Johnson a scratch as well. That moves up the 36 of Jason Martin. Looks like the alignment is good now.
Cole Meitzer also rolling his way in turns 3 and 4 to catch the field. Cole Meitzer rolling off from the 11th position, so we'll catch the tail end of the field.
So after some lineup adjustments, I believe we've got the order set for the start.
Field makes their way into turn number 4. We are set to go green. We are underway in your second non-qualifier of the night here at the Knoxville Raceway. Darren Pitman takes off into turn 1 and 2. Brandon Worthington in tow. Side by side for the 3rd spot. Jason Martin going to work his way around Matt Jewell. He'll set his sights on the 71 of Brandon Worthington. 1 lap down, and Darren Pitman is gone from the front of the field. Take a look at Landon Crawley battling Connor Morrell. Meanwhile, back up front in the 2nd spot, Jason Martin took a stab at Brandon Worthington, not able to get there. That allows Matt Jewell to close ever so slightly. Martin will try again on the bottom of the racetrack, still holding serve is Worthington. Worthington jumps into a 410 here at the Knoxville Raceway this season after running pro sprints all last year. He tries a crossover move, but Jason Martin takes home the 2nd spot. He'll set his sights on Darren Pitman. Either way, still in a good spot here, moving on to heat races later tonight. Martin will try to set sail down the front straightaway, 2.7 seconds back from your leader, Darren Pitman. Worthington gets way high up over the cushion over in turn 1 and 2. He'll slip back. Matt Jewell moves up to 3rd. Landon Crawley rounds out your top 5. He'll try to close in on the 71 machine. A little bit further back as Worthington's struggling. He's off the pace a little down the front straightaway. Crawley will take 4th. Worthington will try again here in turns 2. Tight battle for the 4th position. Slow car here down in turn number 4. That is RJ Johnson. He'll pull it down into the pit area. Darren Pitman started 2nd last year in the Knoxville Nationals. Leading the way here in your 2nd non-qualifier of the night, trying to put himself into a heat race in just a little bit. 2 laps to go for the Lundstrom Motorsports number 3. Jason Martin continues to hold in the 2nd spot, 3.5 seconds back from the 3L. White flag waving in the air. One more time around for Darren Pitman. Jason Martin got around the 71 of Brandon Worthington, has not looked back. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time, sets himself up better than he would have been. Off of turn number 4, Darren Pitman will take your 2nd non-qualifier of the night. Jason Martin will come home in the 2nd spot. He will also advance to your heat races. Matt Jewell will bring it home 3rd, Landon Crawley 4th. Brandon Worthington brings it home 5th. Connor Morrell 6th, Brandon Spithaler 7th, Cole Meitzer 8th, RJ Johnson 9th, Dustin Selvage, Linton Jeffrey, and Scotty Johnson make up the rest of your field in your 2nd non-qualifier of the night.
Set to move in now to heat race competition. NOS Energy Drink. Router number 57, Kyle Larson. 3rd on the grid from Lemoore, California, the 2C Racing Outlaw Wings Durst.